stands for Historically Black College and University.
As we think about the history of the United States, is any university that was created prior to 1964 with a specific mission for educating Black students?
We created our own institution so that we can learn, because while we were freed, we weren't able to learn, which we deserved the right to. But most HBCUs I know were created at first with agricultural intentions in mind, because it was still trying to be embedded within us that we're gonna learn something that's gonna be work, like, you know, learn how to work. W.E.B. Du Bois came in and said that he doesn't believe that ideology. He thinks that we should be learning as liberated like languages in English and things like that. We should be intellectuals, not just only be put in a box to only learn things that have to do with doing handiwork, you know? We can be scientists, we can be doctors, we can be everything of the sort. And Howard University was one of those universities that was built on this ideology.
HBCU is more for African American students, a place they can actually feel like the majority in life, because in the life we live in, we're always a minority, so this is pretty much a place that we can feel like, be around people that's just like us.
First HBCU, we can look at Cheney University, Fort Valley State University, Bethune-Cookman University, Florida Memorial University, Edward Waters College, Savannah State University, Alabama State University. It's so many to name. There are over 100 HBCUs that are still in existence to this very day. Morris Brown College, I may not forget about MPC of Atlanta.
Well, I've been on tour, so I've been to Southern, I've been to Howard, I've been to Clark, I've been to Spellhouse, NCAT.
Homecoming at a university is what it says. It's coming home. Now, as it relates to the Black college experience, I would say that it's more like a family reunion where you're coming home to interact with friends who have turned into family, professors who have turned into family, to share where you are in your personal life, in your professional life, and so forth and so on, to relive the experience, to reflect, to reclaim, to donate, to build, to reinforce, and to do all of those things during that week. So
being that I'm here in Atlanta, of course, I have done Spellhouse. So I've done the Spelman Morehouse in Clark, Atlanta. Of course, I've done Southern. I've done Alabama A&M. I think I've done Fort Valley, Albany.
My memories of my first HBCU homecoming, wow. I was 17. I remember the homecoming game, we played Morehouse College. And I remember seeing those brothers get off their shuttle bus or coach bus, whatever kind of bus it was. And they had these burgundy jackets on. I was like, oh, okay, that's Morehouse, man, all right, you know. And it was just so exciting because that was one of our rivals, well, still is, Morehouse. More so because of the guys, because Morehouse obviously is historically Black college for men. And you know how it is co-ed, obviously. So of course it was like some eye candy you see on campus, you know, from Morehouse.
Ooh. I tell people you have to experience it. I come from what I consider one of the best, but it is. It's, again, it's family, it's fun, it's tradition, it's pride. It's something that you don't want to miss. And I tell people, out of the 101 HBCUs, you have to experience homecoming at one of them. I don't care which one, but you gotta pick a homecoming to go turn up, to party. It's the weekend that you don't sleep.
So I've been coming to FAMU's homecoming since I can remember, since at least 3 or 4. So from my childhood, I remember being like 6 years old, and that's when BET used to come to homecoming. It was that skinny dude hosting that one show, something with the street or whatever. I remember that, and I remember I had a cute outfit on. And this guy may have been a weirdo, honestly, but he was like, oh, little girl, like, to talk to us because you was like really funny, so he like recorded me. And I don't know what he did with that video because it never was on TV, so now I'm kind of concerned. But that is like my earliest homecoming memory. We would drive like from the crack of dawn on Thursday morning from Miami, and we'd go meet my family in Miramar, and then we get on the road, and then we like stop. The whole road trip was like a 7-hour road trip. Then on Fridays we go to the vendors, engage the parking lot, and then Saturday morning we used to always stay at the Holiday Inn Round, That's what the old school people call it. Now they call it like the Sheraton 4 Points. But back in my day, it was the Holiday Inn rounds, and the FAMU homecoming parade would go right down Tennessee Street.
Being that I'm Caribbean, we don't have family reunions. Like, that's not like a thing for us. So like, this is what I always imagined it would be like, but like obviously on a larger scale.
Homecoming at an HBCU, it's just like magic. Like, you just come, you're really coming home. Like, it's for us, it's people you only see. Once you graduate, you don't see your friends anymore. The only time you do get to see them, all of them in one place, is homecoming. So it's so great to see everybody, to go to parties and go to your old food spots and you know, maybe see your old teachers if you care enough to go see them. But you know, it's just so much love. Like, sometimes I just need that recharge of homecoming to remind myself where I come from and who I'm doing it for.
Party life during homecoming. Let me tell you, you have to prepare for it literally. Take your vitamins, drink your water, whatever exercise regimen that you have or need, you better get one.
The party life during homecoming, only the strong will survive.
Because as we say, ain't no party like an HU party.
So you got to get there like Thursday, because you got to be ready for Friday, Saturday. Say Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you are homecoming week. You just party, you don't sleep. It's legit how it sounds. So we're the planners. We plan to see what we're gonna do before we get to homecoming, because it's just that many people. So it's like, let's get the tickets, let's do what we're gonna do. But we know that we gotta get the rest in between, because it's so much partying and there's so many parties to choose from. You may have like 10 parties to choose from.
Chillmatic is lit, and then you still have, you know, the rest of your weekend to get turned. But if you get too drunk on Thursday, you're not gonna want to do nothing else the rest of the weekend. And then Friday is Carpe. That's like an all-day affair. It turns into a night party, depending on if you. I know one year I left Carpe at like 1 a.m. It was a lot going on that day. But I feel like Friday is like the party. Like, everybody, you don't come to homecoming if you're not going to Carpe then.
I am Christian Street. I am the co-CEO of Dream Marketing Group, also known as Dream X Team ENT in Tallahassee, Florida. We've been doing parties since 2013. What Dream Marketing Group, also known as Dream X Team ENT, is, we started as a group of student entrepreneurs, literally wanting to create an environment for us and by us for students at Florida A&M University. A lot of the clubs in Tallahassee, Florida were holding events catered to markets that weren't affiliated with ours. So we wanted to create an experience for literally our colleagues, our fellow students, and from then on it just built to what it is now.
Yes, I've been to a Dream Team party, founded by Jared Humer. I remember when Dream Team was a dream, you know? I'm sorry, I made myself laugh.
Fest, it's a new festival that we curated this year, last year, 2019, and it highlights the start of an artist momentum, and it connects the local artists with the mainstream artists. So what we did with Fame Fest this year was we got the celebrity artists, the babies of the world, Young Nudie, King Kong, Stunner for Vegas, and we put them with talent of our own that's here in Tallahassee, Florida, with Bernard, Rico Dreams, Camille, TLB, so on and so forth. So what we ultimately wanted to do was provide an atmosphere for our local grown talent to be on the same stage as celebrity talent, so we can support our own in a sense.
Fame Fest was a great idea. Fame Fest was huge. I'm sure it would have been like even huger this year. It was a brilliant idea. It worked perfectly. The location was great. He was able to maximize that whole area, like, and it went viral with the boy rapping with the baby. Like, it was a thing. So that was really lit to see. And to see where Dream Team itself started to where Fame Fest became, like, it's great.
So I will say the anticipation for our events are 10 times higher. A lot of people look forward to homecoming. You know, girls are booking their outfits in advance. Dudes, we booking our outfits in advance as well. So the anticipation is a lot higher.
If it's 1 week out the year we know we're gonna stunt, it's gonna be homecoming, because we order our stuff 2 months before. We make sure our outfits come in time, because you need an outfit for every day.
Speaking from a student standpoint, that's that 1 week where you might have homework, but you kind of just like, Professor, I don't know why you assigned that to me. You know I'm not gonna do it. I'm letting loose this week. It's homecoming.
Like, I've seen my peers be on tables going crazy on Saturdays and Sundays too. But as soon as Monday come in class, like this, like you wouldn't, it's like a switch, like a complete 360.
For alumni, they come back in town. It's a break from my job. I'm letting loose as well. For the kids of alumni, it's like, I want to see what this is all about. Granted, they can't get into parties, but just being around that atmosphere, it's like, I want to see what this is all about. This HBCU that we're so prideful about. Why? You know, and that's their first time seeing what that camaraderie is all about. And so homecoming, it's just ultimately, it's a time for us to be exactly who we are and do it unapologetically.
People spend a lot of money on parties during FAMU homecoming because everybody's bougie at FAMU, so they gotta have a section.
You might not be a booth person, but you might cop the booth during homecoming. You know, it's just a different energy.
See, like, it depends how person you are. If you're like, someone to be in a section, and then there's the people that want to wait till the last minute. So if you get your stuff early, you can, you know, you can spend like $60, $70 all together for all these parties. You feel me? Because I mean, tickets go on sale, they'd be like $10, $15. Then you wait till a week before, it's gonna be $40. You feel me? At the door, I'm charging you $50. Like, I need that.
But sections aren't as expensive when you go in with your dog. So if you got like a smooth 8 people, everybody put in $200. I don't even know how much section costs because I don't usually pay for them. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, they done got me up for like 80, 85 and up. And if we're sitting in VIP, which happens, we got a section, we don't even, it's probably way more than that. So
I know that homecoming 2018, I spent a good at least $300 on parties in total because we had sections, everybody splitting it, and then what was really expensive is the bottles. So you have to get the bottle service, etc. But each party shouldn't run you no more than $50 a piece. That sounds kind of ridiculous too. It depends on when you buy your ticket. If you buy your Carpe ticket in April, you can spend a smooth $10, $15. But if you wait till October to buy, of course it's gonna run you some.
So homecoming is definitely a time where you're gonna flex. You might rent a car. You might you know, get that fancy hotel if you're coming back in town. You know, you might pop out with a little bit different drip than you did before, a little bit different jewelry than you did before.
High fashion. That's what fashion is like at HBCU during homecoming.
I've seen people spend their whole refund check on homecoming outfits. I kid you not. From head to toe, their whole little refund check goes towards homecoming. And that's not only like outfits, that's hair, shoes, makeup, lashes, like all that.
Everybody in heels. You go to the set on Set Friday, heels. Go to the quad, heels. Heels, new weaves, all that stuff. You gotta come correct during homecoming week. And I think FAMU takes it to the next level.
I would have to say Spelman, Howard, Morehouse are some of the most best dressed HBCUs out here, I would say.
Like, we take the way we go to class as a really big deal because it's just like, you're now in a professional setting and this is how people are gonna take you seriously. They're not gonna take you seriously if you're wearing pajamas and sweats because it's just like, we know that in the real world, Black people, if you walking around wearing pajamas and sweats, they're not gonna take you seriously. So like, yeah, we're on our campus in our space, but while we are in the Howard bubble, we still know that it's the real world, and if we want to get to where we need to get to, we got to do what we got to do. And that's looking the part and playing the part.
Fashion on campus during homecoming is a fashion show. Like, don't walk around here in leggings and a t-shirt, none of that. The whole week is up. It's only designer, it's only heels, it's everything. It's the best you got out your closet.
You're gonna come in, you're gonna show out, and you're gonna let it be known, like, I'm here, and you're gonna come at your best.
Fashion and style at HBCU is unapologetically Black, it's unique, it has so much culture, so much style. Speaks to the history and uniqueness of our culture and like how rich it is. So that's what I love about style and culture and how much just inspiration you can get from it all and like what I can take away just from looking out and people watching and what I can take back to my clients and myself.
So Howard University has an annual fashion show every year, student coordinated, and it is amazing.
One of my favorite events during the week of homecoming, definitely when I was a student, was the fashion show. You know, the fashion show was just like the end all that bees all. You know, the fashion was just, I mean, it was hot, you know, and everyone would dress up in their best and, you know, just go out and kind of support that.
Our auditions are taken very seriously. You show up in a white shirt and denim pants and 4-inch heels or higher and nothing less, and you walk and people really be like crying when they don't make it, you know, like it's like a really big, I feel like I'm watching America's Next Top Model. Like it's like a really big It's like a really big thing here. And if you're not walking the show, when you come to the show, it's a pop out. Like people look like they should be on stage when they show up to the fashion show. You come to impress. It's like a really big thing, and it's really beautiful to see everybody in their Sunday's best.
My name is Madison Starr Brim. I am a graduating senior fashion design major from Mount Vernon, New York. I was the chair for Howard's Homecoming Fashion Show this year.
The fashion shows themselves, like I said, it's hard to say it wasn't one particular style because you had so many people from so many different areas, you know, from Howard. So everybody had their own little fashion, but you know you were at Howard, so you were fashionable.
I don't need to see New York Fashion Week because I got Howard. Like this year we had Dapper Dan Gucci as a line, we had MCM as a line. Like we literally put on a show. We get the outside entities that we need to come and provide us with clothes.
I really wanted to collaborate with legendary brands and bring their rich histories and legacy to Howard's campus because the show has been something that has been so legendary over the years, and it's such a big thing at Howard, just the fashion, and I just wanted to continue to carry the torch. The biggest one for me, it was Gucci by Dapper Dan. On top of that, I got the privilege to work with MCM, which was amazing. We also got to use the look that Beyonce had from the Ape Shit music video that the Carters had in the Louvre in Paris, and they allowed us to pull that look for the show. Yes, so she wore the clothes off of Beyonce's Body Girl. They had the exact outfit. We collaborated with Macy's. We did a pre-show with them. That was amazing, and then we had about 21 different looks from Macy's in the show. So that was really awesome. Then we had Adidas. That was great. I loved Adidas, and they really brought that hip hop element for me as well, which was something that the show was very, very, very big on. Just hip hop, Black culture, and fashion. And lastly, we closed the show with Champion, and I love Champion because I feel like it's just a timeless classic. And I was so grateful to have worked with all of these incredible brands. And I don't think that it would have been possible if I didn't set my intention on using the connections that I had to help others and to make a bigger network for everyone involved.
Fashion is an important dynamic at HBCUs because it basically it's the way you express yourself. You know, it's all about expression, especially at that age. You're still trying to find yourself. You're not really sure, you know, about, you know, you're in school, you know, you're majoring in whatever your major is, but you don't really know what you're gonna embark on after you graduate. So the fashion basically is just a way of showing people who you are. You know what I mean? You just showing this is me.
The collaborations for me were one of the most important aspects of the show because I was extremely intentional on having Howard designers names, the Howard student designers names with these big brands. So people would start to take us, and will but continue to take us seriously as up and coming designers. We have a lot to say as young Black people. We have a lot to offer, and not for nothing, we shift and create the culture.
The Homecoming Greek Steps show there's a cash prize. It's a really exciting time. It's like a battle, a fight to the finish. It's because they go hard.
A real step show is pretty much precision-based, energy-based, theme-based. So everyone has a theme at the beginning, and then you gotta make, you know, upscale videos and to tie into your theme.
They practice very hard, like every night, like for hours on end, because you just really, it's about precision and nailing it, and you just see all that hard work and dedication come out on the stage.
Okay, well, the Divine Nine are the historically Black fraternities and sororities that were set aside to promote scholarship, to promote public service, to promote college pride, Black pride, and so forth, as it relates to the African American community. So I would say scholarship, love for all mankind, public service, and so forth. And of course, we look at those that is Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity, Alpha Kappa Alpha, Sorority Incorporated, Delta Sigma Theta, Sorority Incorporated, Omega Psi Phi, Fraternity Incorporated, Zeta Phi Beta, Sorority Incorporated, Phi Beta Sigma, Fraternity Incorporated, Kappa Alpha Psi, Fraternity Incorporated, Sigma Gamma Rho, Sorority Incorporated and Iota Phi Theta Fraternity Incorporated.
The love of people in their sororities and their fraternities, like, you know, to see how much work and dedication they are willing to put to do something that is a part of a big tradition of Greek life, stepping.
When we come home, we want to see what our fraternities, what our sororities are doing, most specifically within an artistic sphere. As it relates to Black people, stepping is something that birthed itself on the African continent. Looking at the gum dances of South Africa today, and so many other dances that we have done over the years and how they have been incorporated into the African American experience. Just coming back home to see what we can do with the talents that we have and how they continue to reinforce our culture today.
I know that for us, like stepping and strolling, we do it both. We do both. We have a step team, we have a stroll team. You don't step though at parties. Like, that's not a thing that happens. Like, we wouldn't just break out into step at a party, but we stroll at Darties, at clubs, at First Friday. We stroll. We love to stroll.
My favorite stroll to see is the Alpha Stroll. I like when they do the little shimmy one. I don't know what it's called, but that's my favorite one. They get to hopping around with Chopper Style. Come on.
OSC on the Yard is To Be Real by the Deltas. I really like that.
My favorite stroll to watch, this is going to be a very surprising answer. Now, I'm going to shock the world. I really enjoy watching the Stigmas do their cold-blooded show because it's so funny to me, because it's always the one that starts it off, and then he do his little hops, and then he tell everybody else to come on, and then they like juk, and then they go. It's so funny to me, and I really just enjoy watching them do it.
I think my favorite stroll to do while I'm on the Yard is Who You With. I think it's a crowd favorite.
The Yard is a place where we all come together to get away from classes, course studies, the stress of being on campus. Something that we all do. Everybody kind of mingles with each other, even though we have separate stones or separate trees or separate plots. We all, again, support each other for the greater good of the actual university.
Southern has Pretty Wednesday, Howard has a Yard, but you know, FAMU got Set Friday, and it's like, it's not even a comparison.
Set during homecoming is crazy. Like, everyone comes out and then people come back, depending on like if it fits in their schedule. Cause like, you alumni, like it'd be so much going on that you don't have time to come to set, let alone be on campus, find parking, then go to the set, get musty, then go try to like do something else. It'd be too much. But, and then like the locals come out, cause you know, we got the hood babies there for the car show, so they be out in droves. Everybody come back. People from their anniversary who are pressed enough to go to the set, they be there on the set, strolling or whatever for the good old days. It just be a lot. But it's like fun. Like they usually have to like move it to Gateway parking lot back in the day, or have it like on Wanish itself, whatever, because they usually have to find a bigger space for Set Friday on homecoming.
So everybody knows it's Pretty Wednesday, and it's Pretty Wednesday on the Bluff. So everybody meets in front of the union, and of course that's where now in this present day, of course they're strolling. You have all the Greeks out. Everybody just kind of meets in front of the union. So they're out there filming, they're out there strolling, everybody's out there talking, everybody's out there just doing their thing. But Pretty Wednesday is the time. You dressed up, you dressed in your best, you got on your suits, you got on everything. I think the tradition has changed a bit because older people are more inclined to get back there because we're trying to relive our days versus the younger people. They're just like, that's on y'all. You know, they'll come by, some of them are dressed up, they're like, okay, but for older people, we're still trying to relive our days. So we're thinking, okay, 20, 25 years ago, that's what we're thinking, but it's not the same.
It is better coming back as an alumni versus when we were on school, because you really don't appreciate it until you leave and you realize all the fellowship and all the fun. We take more advantage of things now than we did. Now we still go to the parties, but that's not primary. You know,
To me, it's more responsibility. Now you're trying to get people to become active members of the Alumni Association versus when I was an undergrad. It's like I said, you just having fun. I'm having broke fun. I'm calling home to my parents asking them for money so I can go out. But as alumni, you're reconnecting with people that you haven't saw. You're trying to get people to join that association. You're actually networking on a different level. I mean, you still hang out, but you know, the hanging out to 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. You gotta have a nap in between that homecoming party, and I can't do it like I used to.
So it is a process, you know, as far as connecting with friends at homecoming, it definitely is a process. This process probably starts a year before homecoming. So we start planning where we're gonna stay, what hotels. Now that we have Airbnbs, we stay in those as well. Who's coming, who's not coming. Usually it's the same people that I went to school with. That's what makes it fun.
My profiles come during homecoming. It's more of just like a, you know, getting to know them more, because like, you know, people from all the way back come. Getting to know them, introducing yourself, you know, because we have a bond, we have a connection, we're in a sisterhood. So it's a really beautiful thing to see because they're so happy, like, you know, it's just a welcoming family, and because you're already a part of it, so it's just meeting each other. It's like meeting, like, you know, like to the older ones, like meeting your new little baby brother or sister, like, you know, your new baby sister. And it's just a really, it's a really beautiful thing to see and do.
Emotional point for me at homecoming was just this homecoming. It was my first year where alum cheerleaders came back that I've actually cheered with. And when they came in the building, like in the gym, I was literally like in tears. Though it'd only been a few months since I'd seen them and only a few games since I cheered with them, seeing them come in there and like ready to cheer with us and just knowing like how much you miss someone and you don't realize that until you see them, like I was literally crying.
It's always fun, like, especially since I'm way removed now, so I'm not like the pressure isn't on me because I'm not in the chapter. I can really just come. And it feels great to see older profiles from way before I was even thought of and born, and their traditions. My favorite part is like Songfest. After the game, we all meet up at the Eternal Flame and we sing our songs, like we sing universal songs, and then like the older sorors want to sing songs that they had when they were in school, and then they sing that and we just sit there like, let them have it, because we don't sing those songs anymore. It's always great, and they're always so happy and chipper and celebrating, you know, milestone anniversaries, and they're just adorable with their bedazzled paraphernalia.
That's what we do.
Hey, bro, how are you? It's so good to see you.
Hello.
So this is my number 20 from the last line. Homecoming is just like, wow, all ages, colors. The love is there. We are the Mecca.
It's all about mentoring. It's good for the students to see where we've been able to, what we've been able to achieve as a result of our time at Howard University. So we come back to give back to the students, to be role models, to be mentors, to encourage. That's the purpose of coming back. And it's also to celebrate and to keep the legacy going. HBCUs have an important role in training, specifically African Americans. We don't want that to be lost. And so we are here standing to say this is why we need HBCUs. This is why it's important. Look at what we achieved. Everything was a springboard from where we started. That's why we're here.
So Miss Keisha Kelly came back, and she's a graduate of the psychology department. However, she like switched her major to mass comm, and she has a podcast called the HBCU Experience, where she like watches and like judges and commentates on a whole bunch of HBCU sports at every HBCU. And she came back, and like I secured a mentorship that quick and an internship that quick with her. And that's the most rewarding part, is when they come back, they're here to give and to help us improve our department and improve ourselves and excel in our majors. And they make sure like they do that when they come.
Grads Are Back is a program within the School of Journalism that they have during homecoming. It's usually on that Thursday when graduates, I think they do it all week, when they come back, graduates of the J School program come back and speak to them, the students, the current students, about their career, what they've been doing, you know, what they did when they were in school, things like that. And then they also have like a cookout afterwards, which is so clutch as a student, because it's that Thursday, leaving our class like, ooh, Grads Are Back is this week, go get you a plate. But yeah, and they always come back and give like some gems, and it's always really, really inspiring.
So excited to be at Grads Are Back. I mean, what a way to kick off homecoming.
It's very important when you are in the room, when you're in the vicinity, like figure it out, have your pitch ready.
It is important for us to really own who we are and then take advantage of what makes you you to use that to your advantage.
The unpredictability is all part of the boot camp of life.
Stop trying to worry about what everybody else is doing. Stop trying to make your journey their journey.
Know that what you have to offer is good enough. Your quirkiness, your insecurities, your just yourself, you're good enough.
None of this is in vain. You even being in this room is not in vain. Take everything, absorb it like a sponge.
There are going to be people that don't want to see you win. Win anyway. There are going to be people that don't want to see you climb the ladder. Climb anyway.
It's not everyone that has, I'll say, like deep pockets, but I think everybody deserves to get the best education. In any way that you can support any school, especially our HBCUs, it's very important because I always believe, and my parents instilled in me, that education is the best tool for opportunity.
And being a member of the Alumni Association is the way to help your future.
Yeah.
To help your future.
And what we don't have a lot of institutions left in the black community.
Yeah.
Howard was founded in 1867. There aren't a lot of things you can point to and say that they have lasted that long. Yeah. So if we don't support it, how do you expect other people to support it and everything?
It's very important that we support our own. Of course, we know that this country was built on racism, white supremacy, and slavery. And unfortunately, HBCUs still bear those scars. So it's important for us to donate our time, our talent, and our treasure to work to heal those scars as we move forward as a university, as a country, to make this nation our quote-unquote more perfect youth.
Hello, I'm Raquel Jackson, graduate of Florida A&M University, spring 2011, and I'm the event chair for FAMU Young Alumni Giving. FAMU Young Alumni Giving Scholarship Brunch focuses on fundraising for scholarships for currently enrolled undergraduate and graduate students, and we also create opportunity for young alumni under 40 to sponsor scholarships that directly go to students. So they're able to create the qualifications for the scholarship and what criteria the student needs to meet and donate towards that student's financial matriculation through FAMU. We celebrate our 13th anniversary today.
In 2017, me and my sisters gave back a scholarship in honor of our late father, Michael Mitchell. So he's FAMU class of 1979 or 80, one of them. But yeah, we gave back in honor of him, and I felt really, really good. Like, you know, we each gave a little bit towards the scholarship. We got to present that with Dr. Robinson, and that felt really, really good. Like, you know, we go to homecoming to turn up and get drunk and everything, but it meant so much to be able to like give something tangible back to the school.
Well, it's important to have it during homecoming because this is when all the alumni come back and more specifically are looking for ways to celebrate their returning back to the campus and all that they've maybe been able to accumulate financially over the year since the previous homecoming. And then for us this year, a lot of classes, incoming classes, sororities, and other organizations are celebrating anniversaries. And so that's really big for us because it puts people in the giving mood, and we love to be able to provide the opportunity for students and alumni to meet and create that relationship.
Oh my goodness. As HBCU alumni, we have to give back. If we don't take care of us, who will? So I think it is very important that we spend our time and talent. We get so much here. The HBCU experience is beyond what I could even think of or imagine before coming here. So when we get here, we need to be able to make sure that other people are afforded the same opportunity. And however that we're able to give, I'm always encouraging that. The incoming freshman class of 1999 gave over $196,000 and counting. Our goal is to do $199,000, and we are very close to that goal, so I'm so excited.
Gone to say a majority white universities, and it's just not the same. They're not as vested in it as we are. So what we just did, we left, and the girl was saying, "Are you in the Alumni Association?" We save our money so that we can make sure we in the Alumni Association.
And we give back to the school.
Yeah.
Yes.
Giving back is important so that you can provide opportunities for others to come and attend your university.
perfect tailgate is when you get to the stadium or where everybody tailgates around the stadium, and you're walking and you hear all the music and you see all the alum dancing, drunk, having the time of their life, and you just get involved with them. You're laughing, you're having fun, you're dancing, you're eating, meeting people you've never met, making connections, and just having the time of your life, because that's what it's for.
The tailgate at Howard is lit. Like, everybody, just different music in different areas. You want to listen to some reggae, let's go over here. You want to listen to some hip hop, let's go over here. You want to listen to some R&B, let's go over here. Like, and everybody got their juice. All the fraternities, all the sororities got their juice and serving food. And, you know, we have all the different companies come out. And it's just a really beautiful thing to see. Everybody got their bottles in their hands and they moving around talking about, pour up.
All right, so you already know what time it is. It's the BN tailgate. That's like the most popular tailgate on campus during the homecoming.
You already know what it is. Beta New. It's BN. 5 year. Happy 5 years of Lux Souls, man. Black party every year. We're going crazy regardless. Happy homecoming to all brothers coming back out, man. Hey, rest with us. FAMU. Ain't no place like FAMU on this earth, man. For real.
Before the game, you got the presidential tailgate, you got, school stuff. But if you want to have a good turn up or have fun, you can come to the BN tailgate.
I can tell you one funny story. A friend of mine, I'm gonna put his name out there, Brian Jackson, Alpha. They have their little tailgate set up there. So every year when he's there, I'll go there and I'll stop by his little tailgate. And they had something called some 8 juice, right? Yes, that's what I said too. And I'm not a big drinker, but he's like, yeah, try this. It's sweet. He knows I love sweet stuff. I drank that. I was fun, okay. Looking at me, you okay? I'm good. Because I'm getting ready to go up to the yard, actually that year I was actually going into the game. So, I'm just, talking, socializing. And you good? I'm like, I'm good. So if you ever been to Howard, there's a steep hill going up Georgia Avenue, okay? I had the 8 juice. All right, I'm leaving my friends, getting ready to go to the game. I'm walking up that steep hill up Georgia Avenue, getting ready to go to the stadium. I'm floating, my body, I literally feel like I'm floating. I'm like, what the hell was in that 8 juice, So thankfully I got to the game. It's not really about the food at Howard tailgating, it's the liquor. To be honest with you.
You have those people that's gonna tailgate no matter where Southern goes. They got the RV, and if Southern goes 5,000 miles, they got the RV hooked up and they going wherever Southern goes. They gonna tailgate. They got the shower. They have everything hooked on that tailgate. They got everything. They're boiling crawfish because they know. And those are what you call those 3rd, 4th, 5th generation because they understand the importance of tailgating because it's a part of our culture.
Well, with us, my brother-in-law, he owns the camper. So he brings the camper, and what we do, we get together and we pay for different things and tell everybody, just bring whatever you feel like you want to bring. We'll pay for the parking spot. Somebody else would bring wings. Somebody else would bring the seafood for the gumbo, for the country boil. And we start on a Thursday, and we go all the way to Saturday night.
And then you have the people like me. I'm just gonna stop by, yo, what time is the crawfish done? Because I'm coming by once you have finished with the crawfish. I'm not that person that's gonna gather all of that stuff and go outside to the tailgate, but I'm gonna stop by and eat.
When we see everybody tailgating from sororities to fraternities to everything in the Southern experience, you want some food. You really do.
I go to the tents looking for food because I'm hungry because I'm lit.
When I'm tailgating, I look for all the boiled foods, so sausage, turkey necks, neck bones.
Red beans and rice, ham hocks,
catfish.
Yes, yeah, everything that you would normally get in Louisiana.
I'm looking for some fried fish or some French fries, but really good French fries, no bogus French fries.
Jambalaya. I'm looking for all the drinks.
Mac and cheese, baked chicken.
I like the red beans, cornbread.
Ribs, ooh, some barbecue ribs.
I'm gonna need that burnt hot dog. I like, my favorite tailgate food is the burnt hot dog. You get some bread, you get a little meat, quick little ketchup. I'll take some baked beans maybe. And if they got macaroni and cheese, depending on who made it, I'll take some.
Hamburgers, fried fish, all of it.
And it'd be free, so it's just like, why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I have a free plate of food? Yeah, and free drink. It's like, what? 2 things Black people love, free and food.
Well, I think it's one of those things that brings everybody together. So we can always, even if we lose a game, we can always laugh and talk over crawfish, turkey necks, you know, potatoes, corn. You can always talk over there.
The staple for the tailgate every year is fellowship and love. That's why we're here. We don't see each other throughout the year sometimes. Sometimes we go years without seeing each other. And homecoming is the one thing that brings us all together periodically. I mean, guys we haven't seen, brothers, friends, classmates we haven't seen 10, 15, 20 years. That's the beauty of homecoming. This is the thing that brings us all together. But in reality, we're rattlers, and we do it better than anybody.
So the vendors during homecoming are a big deal. So at FAMU, we have like several vendor spots. So the main one, so it's two main streets. They're parallel to each other. So we have the vendors on Wanish, like in front of Out Lawson and Gaither, like that little chunk, or in the Gaither parking lot. Yeah, walking into that Gaither parking lot, so like a little marketplace looking area. So you can get anything, fried conch fritters, jambalaya, wings, scrimp, like all kinds of stuff. And then like if you want to get crazy, then you go down Perry Street. Like Perry Street is not for the faint of heart. It's not for the weak. Like Perry Street is just chaos, but you can get anything over there. You can get an Obama t-shirt, you can get a Wakanda t-shirt. If you want a picture of Martin Luther King and Tupac playing spades, a tongue or something, that's where you go to get your t-shirt set. And they got food over there too. They got the lemonade in the little plastic jar with a hole stabbed in the top. You just slide a straw through and it'd be so sweet.
Everybody got a cup of lemonade in their hand. Strawberry lemonade, that's my favorite. That thing costs at least $5, $6, but it be worth it. That's one thing that's worth it on homecoming, that lemonade.
I brought this lemonade from We Squeeze to Please, and it's like the best thing out here.
We are a lemonade business located here in Tallahassee, Florida. We started about 8 years ago, all because we got a hold to bad lemonade. Once we started vending on Perry Street, FAMU became one of our top priorities. We look forward to the same faces. We look forward to the respect from the students and giving them respect, their parents. I mean, when any home game comes, we look forward to this event here on Perry Street, also inside of the stadium. Our lemonade is good because of the love that we put into it. I mean, when people spend money, they want the best, and we try and give them the best.
Florida loves seafood, so it's always shrimp, fish, Florida stuff that, you know, everybody loves to do.
We do Morgan State, we'll be doing this year. We do Howard University. We do another one in Raleigh, in Durham, North Carolina. We do this. We're doing the classic. We do quite a few homecoming. What is my favorite part of vending a homecoming? It's just to see the students get loose in a positive way, meaning they're having fun, they create their own frenzy, being away from the book, and being able to make an executive decision about what they would like to eat. Again, it's just the family atmosphere and social camaraderie that goes with homecoming.
There are clothing vendors, I would say, they are set up in different places. You have a person named Thomas that does like mobile threads. You have a guy named Keith that does like Anthony Lawrence collection. So it's in different places that you can find them. But we have what's called the hump. So when you're coming over the hump, people out there selling those t-shirts. And then once you get over the hump, that's where you find t-shirts. When you're going towards, I think, the Delta House, t-shirts. So people are set up on the side. You catch all of that before you actually get into the game.
We have a lot of friends out here that we set up with. We've been next to them, or we try to go look and see where they are. We'll send some of our customers, you know, hey, go check out this booth over there. It's a really good camaraderie here, especially at Howard. Everybody's so cool and so close. We don't have time to be beefing. Let's all make money here. Homecoming really helps set us up for the year. So yeah, we have a goal that we set for each weekend. We do pretty good at exceeding it because because the love just grows. We've been so blessed by our fan base. They're incredible. You know, it's good to see the students see Black businesses. A lot of times they think of high quality, they think of Gucci, they think of designer. They don't realize that there's a place down the street from you that has incredible quality. You know, we're based out of Atlanta. A lot of people don't know that we have incredible quality in our clothing and we're Black owned. So it's good for people to see really good high quality Black owned products and services at HBCU at their homecoming. The word kind of spreads and it really carries throughout the rest of the year.
Stimulating the economy, Black businesses and so forth. Of course, we have thousands of people, thousands of alumni, and other townspeoples that may come back into Tallahassee for homecoming, as well as other homecoming experiences around the world. And it's a week of us, in essence, unapologetically supporting our own with multiple vendors down the streets, where we buy t-shirts, where we buy food, where we buy clothing and so forth. So in essence, it's a mini Tulsa as it relates to what we're doing for those 5 to 7 days, where we unapologetically support ultimately our own, and those individuals are able to exchange those dollars between Black hands in order to not only stimulate African American communities, but the cities as well.
So favorite football memory during homecoming, of course, is winning. I mean, you know, of course, you know, just getting touchdown. But I think I'd say this past football season, it was a tight game. And so we're going back to back with Alabama A&M. We score Alabama A&M scores. We score Alabama A&M scores. So you're trying to live tweet, you're trying to update, you're trying to interview, and you're trying to watch the game at the same time. But just seeing, you know, the last play of the game and you see that you walk away with the win is probably the best memory.
At Howard, we care a lot more about the band and the dancers than we do about football team. We don't really, we love Showtime.
Now, I come for both. But a couple years ago, I used to come just for the band.
Football team and the band are a married couple. You can't have one without the other.
I just think the HBCU football team doesn't always win.
Football team, they be losing. What can I say? They be losing.
I feel like the band is always like a talking point, like, yeah, our band's better than yours. And it's just so much history behind, you know, the way they perform and the way they carry themselves.
Nobody asks at the game. Like, I couldn't tell you the score. I couldn't tell you if we won or lost the game, but I know we lost. Like, that's what I'm telling you. I know we did. And guess what? I found out we lost.
Honestly, I'm not a big football fan. I don't even understand the sport. Imagine that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I want my team to win. But the thing for me that I get excited about is the band.
HBCUs do care about football. Like you have like, you know, those HBCUs who have very iconic football programs like Grambling, like they're like literally like one of the most historic football programs. But it's like, it just be the band, man. I don't really know how to describe it. It's just like the band is just so important. It's like the literal heartbeat of the school. And we created such a great culture, which I credit to FAMU and Dr. Foster. Look it up, period. Which I wasn't doing dance routines and all of that before us. But no, I just feel like it's just, I don't know, I think it's just Black people in general. Like music is so important to us. And this is why we hold it in such a high regard. And yeah, I mean, we do care about football. Like some schools, especially once we migrate to the SWAC, y'all gonna see how the SWAC get down. They have some school spirit and like they are very competitive. They're very lit. Like the MEAC is very like a laid back kind of conference. But when we get to the SWAC, we gonna see like they don't play about football and they love their bands.
Relates to marching bands and African American history or African experience. Of course, we always have to go back to the mother of the African continent as it relates to marching bands. Of course, we know the drum, the banjo, and so many other instruments made their way across the Atlantic with us, even if it was through the ears and the eyes of Europeans who had us entrapped aboard those ships.
The style of HBCU's band is like unmatched. The name of our school's band is the Marching 100.
Of the band for over 40 years.
Our university's marching band is called Showtime Marching Band. And let me tell you something. If you want to get all of Howard out their seats, you got to play next. You know, I'm talking to the side of your neck. Ba-dum-bum, bum-bum-bum-bum. It's like everybody got, it's like,
First song the marching band plays is like the Let's Go song and Total Praise. I think it's one of my favorites.
The name of our school's band is the Human Jukebox.
Often imitated, never duplicated.
My name is Kendrick Taylor. I am the director of bands at Southern University, the Human Jukebox. When you're looking at Southern University band, there's never a dull moment. So a lot of people don't know our style came from way back when jazz was invented. The directors that started this program were jazz influenced directors. So our band was based on a brass band, which our style was derived from that.
It's crazy because all you hear is just a loud sound. Trumpets and everything, it comes and they bring it. The second one has to be neck. When you hear neck, you know you about to get it. Either they done scored or we 3-1 and we fixing to score. So we know they driving the ball. When you hear neck, you in trouble. You really in trouble. That's just like, that's a staple. It's really a staple for Southern University.
Watching the Jukebox play is amazing. They execute well, they're entertaining. They're always giving you something you would never expect. Like one time we had like a whole Michael Jackson themed field show and they had on like wigs and everything and they was out there dancing and stuff. So when you watch it, it's like, you gotta expect the unexpected because they're always gonna bring you a show.
We make sure that you can't take your eyes off. If you take your eyes off, you're gonna miss something. The band is always moving. Energy, we always have a lot of energy in our shows. If a song is slow, we bring life to it.
Mr. Kendrick Taylor, Mr. The Beast, as you call him, who is also an ice cold brother of Alpha Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. He is a great man, you know, a great leader. He has a very stern and, you know, hard mentality about himself.
Practice is very intense. We don't practice for hours, we practice for results.
Lord, if you ever been in the band, like band heads, they probably worse than like Jordan and LeBron fans. Like they are crucial. Like if you didn't march or you didn't, I mean, it's like you got some sports groups, but you got some band groups, and these people will chew your head off if you get something wrong.
He's always gonna get the job done. You know, earlier I talked about making things happen. Well, if you put him in charge of something, he will make it happen, and it will be the best that it could possibly be.
So we live by this. It only takes one. We don't need 5 drum majors. We don't need 10. All it takes is one. And he's that one person.
Name is Trayvon Caesar. I'm a senior psychology major from Lake Charles, Louisiana, and currently I'm the drum major for the Southern University Human Jukebox Marching Band. When they announce my name at halftime, the feeling that I get is undescribable. It's such an amazing and phenomenal feeling. It just lights my day up every time. I look forward to it every Saturday.
Southern University Marching Band is led by drum major, Trayvon, Caesar. Show him some love. The Human Jukebox will now take you to a high energy midfield drill under the sound.
Being in a band during homecoming is a totally different experience than being a regular student during homecoming. You know, homecoming is time for the alumni to come back celebrate, enjoy themselves. Regular students enjoy themselves, party it up, you know, but for the typical band member, it's band practice every day. We get out of practice about 12:30, 11:30 to 12:30. During that time, you know, we have the game on Saturday, so we're preparing all week for the parade, the game, everything. You know, the band is the main attraction here at Southern University, so we always have a standard to uphold. So I wouldn't say it's the funnest experience, but, you know, by the end of the week, it's very rewarding.
Southern drum majors, only one, and they come out and they do the little run thing to the 50-yard line, and then do like the little matrix gyrate thing, and then they like do the back bend, and then they like do the thing. And it's very military, it's very like traditional. And I love like when they have tradition. I love tradition, especially when it comes to HBCUs.
My favorite part of the band has got to be the dolls. The dolls are the best part. The band is good, don't get me wrong, but when they play a good song and you get to see the dolls get to going, it's the best part.
A dancing doll is poised. She's, of course, a technical dancer, but she's also very smart, educated. She's strong. She has to go through a lot, you know what I'm saying, as far as balancing school and dancing. So, yeah, she's amazing. That's what she is.
The dancing dolls have a jazz and ballet style technique. So we put our choreography together based on simple jazz moves and then the style of the Southern University dancing dolls.
When the dolls are dancing, it's like amazing. It's exhilarating. They're precise. They execute. They're entertaining. They're gonna give you whatever you want, and every time they one up their last performance. It's never the same thing over and over. It's always something else that makes you go, wow, like, what?
I love dancing dolls. That's just it. I just love them.
Oh, the dancing dolls are fabulous.
The energy, the dancing, the clothes.
Before I was in the band, I loved the dancing dolls just as much as everyone else. And I still love the dancing dolls.
What's not to love?
Watching all the generations of the dolls come back and perform was so fun. And it was so weird, like, and crazy seeing how our dolls do things now and how they might have done things like 20 years ago or 10 years ago or even just 5. Like, our dolls wore buns. We don't wear buns, but clearly somewhere along the line, that was the thing that they wore, like little sock buns. So it was really entertaining and just crazy to see how like things change over years. And like there was groups of like a big group of dolls, like 14, 15 people, but I think we have like 10. So to see like, you know, how things go from like a lot to a little, or hair down to hair up, or this type of dancing to this type of dancing, and how things progress.
This has been a long time coming. We knew the 50th year was coming and we wanted to do something special. Each decade got together to develop their own dance, their own march-ins, and so each group would meet to come together to do their own twist according to their era. Well, Forever Doll is a doll that has danced at Southern University as an undergrad student for at least a game or a year or whatever, and then after they have served that time, then they become Forever Dolls.
Coming back and seeing the current dolls, it brings back all of the great memories of being with your team, hearing the beautiful sounds that the band makes, and just feeling together, dancing together, doing what you love, your passion. They're beautiful. They're doing an amazing job keeping the legacy alive. That's always the pressure. You never have competition from other teams in the SWAC or MEAC. The pressure always comes from the dolls that came before you, and they're doing an amazing job. I'm so proud of them. I really am.
So dancing with my craft sisters, we're literally like this, okay? We're like this, but at the end of the day, we're all girls. You know, we have our moments and everything, but the sisterhood will forever be there.
Two of my best friends I've met here at Southern University who are fellow dancing dolls who danced with me during those years. So we formed fellowships and sisterhoods to last for a lifetime.
My experience with this organization has been phenomenal. This is a legendary organization. We uphold the traditions and everything that comes along with what we do, and I'm just honored to even be in this position to continue that legacy that all the ladies that are standing behind us started 50 years ago in 1969.
Homecoming at a HBCU is amazing. It's epic, it's fun. It's like the best experience of your life.
HBCU culture definitely is a culture where it's more like a family. You know, I felt right, I just fit in. You know, it was just, I don't know, it was just something about as soon as I stepped on that campus, it was just like magic for me, you know. I was around people that looked like me. You know, we were all striving for the same things to be successful. It's like a family reunion, honestly, you know, because we get so caught up in our day-to-day lives, especially now that we're out of school and we're grown and have families and working, careers and all that good stuff. And homecoming is a way to come back and reconnect. You know, every year I see people that I have not seen in years. We just wonder what happened to them, you know, but they show up at homecoming.
How would you describe the culture at HBCU?
Describing the culture at a HBCU, the main thing I go with is tradition. Tradition, family, history, it's nothing like it. It's a melting pot. It's the place that you can go and be yourself, all the melanin in the world. It's also about diversity, but it's the place where you go to cut your teeth.
It's just really beautiful because college is one of the biggest parts of your life, like where you learn the most, you develop your character and you become yourself. And I feel like this space plays such an important role in that. And I feel like I'll never forget how being in this space made me feel. So coming back to all the alumni, I really am very appreciative because it's just like, it's so beautiful to see how happy they are to be back and how like they love to speak on memories like, oh, we used to be at Blackburn, and to compare like now and then. And it's just a really cool thing.